Jaguar Wright, girl, if you don't go sit your mother psycho ass down, and I don't believe nothing that bitch say. I don't believe she say. Y'all believe it because you don't know. If I didn't know no better, I think that bitch was fed. Hey, Jaguar, you forgot this? You forgot this, Jaguar? You over there running your motherfucking mouth, but you been at everybody's. That means you a snitch, bitch. She's annoying. She's annoying. And I don't trust this.
Wait, not Allie Carter coming back with fire. From teaming up with Jaguar to expose the industry, to now putting her on blast for allegedly cashing in on Diddy's victims and even trying to twist the trial? This is wild. At this point, it's hard to trust anybody in this game, not even Jaguar. So who is Allie? She's claiming the whistleblower title now, and she's bringing receipts that'll have you giving Jaguar major side-eye. Jaguar used to be one of the only people standing up for Allie, defending her when folks were calling her out, saying she was losing it. But Allie? She never really rocked with Jaguar like that, and she's been loud about it from the start. Things got real messy when Allie accused Jaguar of taking cash to spin the story around Diddy. That blew people's minds. Nobody saw that one coming. If anything, folks thought they were tight, like ride or die energy. But nah, that's not what's happening anymore. Here's where it gets even crazier. Jaguar pulled up to the first day of Diddy's trial with her own security. She wasn't playing around, said she was ready in case anyone from Diddy's crew tried something slick. And according to her, Diddy should have been locked up years ago, same time as R. Kelly. Jaguar says the reason Diddy stayed free so long is because law enforcement didn't bother looking into him back when they were going after R. Kelly. She claims they're deeply tied, and if investigators had dug deeper back then, Diddy would have been behind bars too.
I do believe there's going to be a lot of curveballs. I do believe there's going to be a lot of interesting things. And what I will say is, be vigilant. We're getting started.
Is this a reckoning for the music industry?
Oh, it needs to be. And if it wasn't, I hope my presence starts that. This case that happened in the R. Kelly case. Because if that had been properly addressed, this would have been addressed back then. These people have been working together, all in cahoots for all of this time. And it needs to all be addressed. I'm glad it's not just me anymore. I'm glad it's someone else. I'm glad there are other people who need to be heard. I'll be sure. I'm glad they're hearing him, Cassie. I'm glad they're hearing her, Kim Porter. Through, I'll be sure. I'm glad. Natanya Rubin, I'm glad. All of these things. So yeah, it's mixed emotions, but I just know when you pray for something and God answers it, you should be happy.
It's giving betrayal, chaos, and a whole lot of secrets coming out. Allie isn't holding anything back. She straight up called Jaguar a fraud. According to her, Jaguar only showed up in court to stir drama and make the whole thing about herself instead of focusing on the real victims, especially the kids. Allie's claiming Jaguar's on the industry's payroll, spinning fake stories just to help take down certain people they don't like. She says Jaguar's been bought out for a while now, and that she's the only real whistleblower left in the game. At first, people didn't even know how to process it. Jaguar's always been seen as the truth teller, the one spilling all the industry secrets. So this flip, nobody saw it coming. But once folks started digging, they found some of what Allie said actually checked out. Unlike Jaguar, Allie doesn't chase clout or try to make everything about her. She keeps the spotlight where it belongs, on the victims. She's been especially vocal about the children caught up in all this mess. Jaguar, on the other hand, tends to drift off into side stories whenever she talks. It's all over the place. One of Allie's biggest bombshells? That shady all-black party Diddy threw. She was the first to drop that tea, and it wasn't just about everyone wearing black. According to her, the party name had a much darker meaning. She claims it was called All Black because the kids involved, yes, kids, were mostly black children brought in through trafficking and meant to be used in twisted so-called freak-offs. She says these kids were either kidnapped or smuggled in, all tied to Diddy's dark network. If that's even half true, it's beyond disturbing. Allie said she knows this because she was forced into one of these parties when she was 15, and she was made to do things with grown men and women.
Just celebrities, there's a lot of different people. They called it an all-black party, but it was mainly because a lot of the party favors were black kids. I was in the care of Riverside County Child Protective Services at the time. I was 15, barely 16. Things of me that probably don't make sense, but I was a kid. And all of this situation, everything that we're talking about, everything that I've been talking about, I was under the age of 18.
It turns out these kids were kidnapped from the streets, while some were shipped into the country from other states and countries. Can you imagine just how messed up they probably are right now? What's crazier is that Allie also said some of Diddy's associates had a fetish for the douche of kids, and that they would handpick a few of the male kids and deliberately give them foods that would cause them to have some kind of stomach upset so that they would end up having severe diarrhea during the freak-offs, and as if that wasn't bad enough, they would make these boys lay in their own poo and record it.
Watching an episode called Pig Night, when I went, they tried to feed us, and I remember it because when
Pig
you
night.
have to do
Say what?
orders, jobs like that, you don't eat. You're not allowed to eat. You actually have to starve yourself, because when you have to do those type of jobs, you can't eat because you will throw up.
Really?
If you are doing, or if you are a guy doing it, you will shit everywhere.
Oh boy.
When this happens, your parents get mad at you. Really mad at you. And if that is a fetish for someone, they use that to their advantage. So if you throw up on someone, you will have to eat it. If you on someone, you will have to lay in it.
But according to Allie, those disturbing parties weren't even the worst part. She claimed that some of the black children were allegedly exploited in even darker ways, specifically in ritualistic practices tied to twisted beliefs about youth and power. She says there were ceremonies where high-profile individuals believed they could tap into some kind of energy to keep themselves young, and these kids were at the center of it. There have been long-standing rumors in the celebrity world about strange rituals involving vulnerable people, but Allie came through with shocking, detailed accusations. She described what she says were horrific scenes where people were restrained, placed in bizarre positions, and treated like props in performances that had nothing to do with entertainment and everything to do with control and fear. Allie claimed that powerful figures, including Diddy, weren't just present. They were allegedly recording what happened, taking part in their own way. She didn't drop exact names of locations, but said these events were kept hidden in private, secure places where almost no one could intervene. And the most chilling part? She said most of the kids involved didn't survive. Those who did were deeply scarred, mentally, emotionally, and physically.
Graphic. But right now, I think a lot of people are not ready for someone to tell you that there are 3-4-year-olds that people take pride in sticking bars up children. I don't think people are going to be able to stomach the fact that people tie 2, 3, 4, 5-year-old children to horse stables and have horses and dogs race them, and then they get off on that. I don't think people are going to be able to stomach the fact that people hang children upside down in satanic ritual abuse meetings, and they literally hang them. Literally, by metal prongs, they hang them to get blood dripping out of them, and people go up under and like you're under a rainfall to take their blood. There are situations that I don't think people are ready for. We're not touching the seriousness of trafficking. Like the videos that I've made, the videos that I've started to make, this is not even touching. This is the gist of it, and I think so many people are quick to raise a sign and say adrenochrome, but you don't know what it means, and you don't know why it's such a thing, why it's such a strong thing in trafficking, and how what makes it so strong? You know that they're drinking children's blood, but you don't know what they're doing to those children to make their blood strong enough to cause something to flip your system in order to keep you in the fountain of youth. No one believes that because it sounds like an unreal horror Disney movie that someone wrote. You know what I'm saying?
It kind of is.
Now here's the twist. Given how both Jaguar and Allie have built reputations for calling out industry secrets, people thought they'd be teaming up to blow the lid off it all. But Allie made it clear she's not aligning with Jaguar. In fact, she's accused Jaguar of being compromised, saying she's out here doing the industry's dirty work instead of speaking real truth. Jaguar, at one point, actually supported Allie when she first came out, even defended her publicly, but Allie didn't care. She was convinced from day one that Jaguar had already been bought off. Allie says the moment people started paying attention to her side of the story, Jaguar switched up, and not in a good way. She claims Jaguar began sending her threats, trying to intimidate her behind the scenes.
Allie Carter being silenced.
I'm sure she is. I hope it's not my fault. I made an outcry to her that I'm willing to talk to her.
Goes into witness protection. We'll never see her again. Allie Carter, wherever she is, she's safe right where she is. I can tell you right now, the second that you put your life in the government's hands, you're up for grabs. Because all it takes is one corrupt government official who's been paid very well to handle up on you, and then all of a sudden, leave Allie Carter alone. And leave me alone. Do you know what a score that would be for the Illuminati if they could get me and Allie Carter together at the same time?
At first, Allie was confused. They were both supposed to be exposing the same dark truth. So why would Jaguar be pressed about someone else speaking out? Then it hit her. According to Allie, Jaguar was never really in it for the victims. She believes Jaguar is in it for clout, not justice. And that's when Allie snapped. She went all the way off. She accused Jaguar of being a complete fraud, saying she's just another paid puppet, throwing on the mask of a truth teller to gain sympathy and views. But underneath it all, Allie says she's just another industry insider working an angle, pretending to care while collecting checks behind the scenes.
Getting a lot of threats. A lot. A lot. Mainly from big kitties. Here, kitty, kitty, kitty.
Allie didn't hold back. She said Jaguar has made a business out of other people's pain. She accused her of popping out with wild claims only when her pockets start looking dry. And then, once she's got everyone's attention, she starts demanding payment before she reveals the rest.
So many wolves in truth teller clothing. Here, kitty, kitty. Here, kitty, 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 kitty.
Allie said it's all a strategy, one designed to manipulate viewers and monetize trauma. And the worst part? Allie said if Jaguar really cared about the truth, especially when it comes to protecting kids, she wouldn't put a price tag on it.
Thing with those wolves in truth teller clothing, they want you to give them a Patreon subscription fee, all the money. And I think people have gotten to this mindset of, if I want the truth, I have to pay money for it. For a waiver from the children, a lot. How many times do they tell you about the children? How many times do they tell you to get up for the children? How many times do they call you to action for the children? How many times do they not waiver from the children unless it's trending? When do they talk about the children? Do they only talk about it when it's trending? If they're talking about trafficking, do they talk about the children? Here, kitty. I don't believe in panthers. I believe in a kitty kitty. I know. I've lived with them. I've dealt with them. So I know how they work. If they don't get their way, they point fingers. When they don't get their way, they pull things like Jay-Z pulled when he all of a sudden he don't know that.
She said real truth tellers don't wait to get paid. They speak up because they have to, not because they're chasing views, money, or attention. But come on, y'all already knew Jaguar wasn't just gonna sit there quiet while Allie dragged her name through the mud like that. Of course she clapped back. Jaguar hopped on live and fired off a warning straight at Allie, telling her to stop using her name for views and attention. She made it real clear, I'm not the one or the two, and she meant that.
Don't cloud chase me. Even if it is for your protection. I am not Lamisha Fuller. I'm not running around lying on you, trying to convince people you got stuff. Do I want any arms to befall you? Absolutely not. But if you're looking for protection.
Jaguar didn't stop there either. She popped up in another interview and let it rip. She said the difference between her and Allie is proof. According to Jaguar, she's got receipts to back up every word she says. She's not just talking wild with no facts. She said Allie's just out here spinning stories and trying to drag her name through the dirt without a shred of evidence.
Yet everywhere I point and tell people to go look, they found something that was hidden, thrown down in the algorithm, sitting right there online, right in front of their very faces. I don't really have much feeling about stupidity. It's just stupidity. What do you mean coming? It's always been here. People have chosen to ignore it. Things are about to get real and they're not going to be able to ignore it anymore. That's all.
Man.
Meanwhile, Allie's not letting up at all. She's keeping her foot on the gas and going harder with her claims. This beef is looking serious, and at this point, neither one of them is backing down. The internet's split. One person said, "Not gonna lie, I'm with Jaguar on this. She's been calling things out way before they happened. We gotta give her credit where it's due." But someone else jumped in with, "I believe Allie Carter. She's not doing this for fame. She's genuinely scared and doing everything she can to protect those kids. Her life is unstable and she's constantly on the move. That doesn't scream clout chaser to me. Now I need to hear what you think. Do you believe Allie's telling the truth about Jaguar being paid off? Or do you think Jaguar's just being unfairly targeted? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and hit that bell so you never miss when the next bombshell drops. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.